Welcome to State of Minds, presented by Hope Gas and by Greer Industries. The band Redd Kross is a bit of a rock enigma. Over more than 4 decades, Jeff and Steven McDonald have charted their own circuitous course with a mixture of rock, punk, pop, grunge, psychedelic, and glam. The results have never fit neatly into one category, but the songs and their performances have garnered them the reputation as one of the most influential bands of an era, even if some of their commercial success and broader public acclaim fell short of many other bands that they influenced. However, with a new self-titled double album, a Stop Your Whining tour with the Melvins, a documentary, and a book about the band and their lives, Redd Kross just might be staking their rightful place among rock icons. Please welcome Jeff and Steven McDonald. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Welcome to West Virginia.
Thank you.
Yeah, not first time for you, but first time for you.
This is this will be my second show tonight.
Okay, well, good. It's good to have you in West Virginia. Steven, you're touring with the Melvins. Why Stop Your Whining? Why Stop Your Whining?
Well, I think the idea, because this tour is we're playing a lot of markets that are smaller markets, and the entire tour is basically, that's the inspiration. So there was the assumption when the dates were announced that there'd be lots of people in the big capital cities. So why aren't you playing here? And then blah, 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 which does happen. You hear that, but there's also some people that don't whine, just get in the car and drive a couple hours too.
So people should stop their whining and go to the show.
Yeah,
right?
take a road trip.
Well, my thought is always like, well, don't tell me to come to your town. We're getting like an hour from your town. Do you know how much effort goes into that? Meet us not even halfway. Meet us, whatever, like a tenth of the way.
Okay. Jeff, after 40 years, a double album.
Yes.
After 40 years, at a point in a career where a lot of bands are searching for new material, you all came out with 18 new songs.
Right.
What was that about?
We had them. I mean, Steven and I wrote a lot of the record together, and we took a couple of months to write. And I always have a couple of songs of my own. Steven had a handful of songs as well that he had written on his own. So we started recording with the idea that we would start eliminating things as we went along. And we just thought, wow, this really flows. Let's continue it. We'll do a double record, which our record label at the time was not very happy with, because I guess in today's market, double records are a risk.
Wait a minute. You mean for Redd Kross, the record company was not happy? That's something brand new, right? That never happened.
Oh, yeah. It's an old story.
Yeah. How did you get over that then? How did you get over that hump?
We put the record out with a different record label.
But we're all good friends still.
Oh, yeah. No, we're friends. It's all friendly, but one label said, "Oh, production costs are too high right now. Please try to pare it down," and that just kind of like put a bug in our rug or whatever. And we were like, "That's all the more reason to do it." So, it's time to flex a little bit, I suppose.
Time to flex.
Yeah.
After 4 decades, time to flex a little bit. Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
For the reasons you say, Yeah.
You're on this lengthy American and European tour. And it seems like you're playing night after night after night. Day off, night after night after night. How are you holding up?
Pretty good, surprising. Pretty intense, but it's also really fun. I think it really.
You're having fun.
Yes,
Well,
definitely.
we travel from town to town. People cheer us on.
Yeah, we get our moment of glory like once a night. Well, twice for him.
Twice, because you're.
But I think that the rock and roll, like the theory that it's some sort of fountain of youth, I think there might be some truth to that, because I can't speak for Jeff. I don't feel tired at all. I mean, I don't know how I look, but I will say to the viewers at home, I'm wearing no makeup,
which is rare.
No, not for me. I usually go makeupless, but I am 58 years old.
But you're not waking up on the bus or in the hotel going, "Oh, I got a show tonight," and that doesn't happen.
Well, it's never I got a show tonight. It's always I got to get it up. I don't ever want to get up, ever. That's just my nature. But it's not ever the show. By the time the show comes around, it's,
Okay.
I'm
Showtime.
Awake.
It's showtime.
Touring is more about just not losing things.
And not losing your mind.
That's really well.
What have you lost? What have you
your
lost?
mind
Have you
as
lost
well.
on this tour?
Well, things like my crystal deodorant.
Or your
Nothing
charger,
very big,
your
you know.
iPhone. There's
But especially in America, because in Europe, I mean, I love Europe, but it's just for, you know, California boys or whatever, suburban boys. There's a lot of conveniences that we've grown accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you lose something in Europe, it might be a little bit harder to find.
All right.
And here, it's just like, oh, you just get it.
But it's exotic.
Yeah.
The experience is always
Yeah, but
I mean,
Did you have exotic experiences in Europe?
yeah. Oh, sure. We had exotic experiences like in a laundromat, which is always a big thrill for bands. You know, it's like and we found like a free hour to go to a laundromat in Belgium. I think it was, and there was signs were on the wall saying that at 9 o'clock the doors will lock, the electricity will go off, and it was like already like 10 to 9 when we started. So, you know, and it's
it was a bluff, and I knew it. But Jeff was so stressed
but these
out
kind
about
of
it.
daily, these little thrilling
We're
things
just
that
learning-
musicians deal
It's
with.
fun to learn the rituals and the customs of other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
We're open to it.
Stephen, like a lot of brothers, you guys have at times fought like cats and dogs. That's well documented.
Yeah.
But you said, quote, we were able to make the whole thing, this album, we were able to make this whole thing in a really harmonious, unified, satisfying fashion, as opposed to the combative, grab the steering wheel thing we did so often in the past. Is that a reflection of where you are in your relationship or where you are professionally? What is that about?
Was I talking about the new album?
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, for starters, that's always subject to change. But but no, I would say that we kind of hit the sweet spot of collaboration on the last record. But you know, whatever, we're changing. Like, I wrote a lot more than I have ever written in the past. You know, even though we've been doing this for years and we have certain things that work, certain ways of functioning, I think it's also healthy that that's subject to change as well, and that constant change is part of it. And then it might take a little bit of getting used to, like a new dynamic, but it's what keeps it alive and keeps some, you know, it's like plate tectonics. If the planet wasn't constantly shifting, it would be dead like Mars. And according to my science documentaries. And so, you know, but also I need to give credit to our friend Josh Klinghoffer, who was our collaborator, our co-conspirator on the record.
Producer.
Yeah, producer. And he's, you know, he's younger than both of us, and I've known him for years, but he is in many ways more accomplished than us. And he just has, I think we were on our best behavior.
Jeff, do you want to tackle that too?
Well, no, I mean, I mean, we try to make it different every time we go into the studio. We don't record a lot. We only every couple of years. And I think, it would be really, really boring if we had a set way of doing things. And, you know, it's kind of fun to not know what's going to happen each day when you go into the studio. And, you know, and it was very fun working with a third person, with Josh. And it was fun that Steven had more songs on the record. It was, I don't know, it was a very fresh experience.
The Mountain State is full of pioneers once again.
We have one of the most advanced robotic heart surgery programs.
The world's most advanced clean steel facility. 2,000 construction jobs, 800 full-time permanent jobs.
West Virginia is going to end up being a leader, an example to the rest of the U.S.
West Virginia is for hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Welcome back to State of Minds, presented by Hope Gas and by Greer Industries. With technology, the emphasis in recording now seems to be perfection in recording with technology. Redd Kross has always had a rough edge to it. Have you all had to change with those times, or stay true to the edge?
Oh no, we stay true, but sometimes there are tools to make things perfect very conveniently. So it's that worries me at times. I worry that like vocals can be tuned so easily if you have little imperfections in them, and various things like that. And I like to keep that in check, So
y'all don't do that?
Oh no, we use a little bit of it, because he's like, say for instance, something to get perfect for a record, you might have to sing it 25 times because of one little section you're getting wrong. It's okay to nudge that little section.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that, but you have to keep an eye on it, because it is very convenient, and there are a lot of tools for perfection. And I don't like perfection.
Because?
Just because in rock and roll, it's boring. For me, I don't listen to music that's very slick usually.
So you don't finish a show and go, that was perfect. You finish a show and go, oh, all right, that was us.
Yeah, a lot of times it's always, that was good, or
well, everyone's having their own experience on stage. So one person could walk off and think it was they did the worst job ever, But and another person that had different sound where they were in their corner or whatever was having the time of their life. So it's hard to know. But I think things like about technology also, if I could just weigh in.
You can.
It all depends on, what you're trying to achieve. I suppose to make something perfect would be if you were aiming at a particular audience that required that or something. But that's not where, we already well, first off, we're really just making music for the most part that we'd want to listen to ourselves. And the music I still listen to is mostly music from the 60s and the 70s. Much of this stuff, these technologies didn't exist then. And so, it just doesn't, I don't really relate to that kind of sound anyways. I would use some of these tools just to refine my own ideas, if anything. Sometimes you could sing something, you get this idea, and it's just like, you can't quite tell what it is. It's fuzzy, and maybe some kind of plugin or app or whatever would help you get closer to what you were trying to do in the first place.
There's a difference betwin that, though, and have it create for you. There's a difference.
Well,
There's
you
a significant difference there, right?
Yeah, when you have these AI bands, I forget the name of that band.
Steven, you made interesting comments in the book about the Born Innocent documentary, saying you struggled a bit with all those people saying how great you are. And you said there it was on film, the kind of praise that would go to anyone's head. So did that happen, or did the imposter syndrome kick in? Which happened? Did it go to your head, or did you say, I'm an imposter and I don't believe what they're saying? Because you mentioned imposter syndrome in the book.
That's an expression you hear. And it's not that I'm an imposter. I just think that
I didn't suggest you were. I just thought sometimes we don't feel like we're worthy of.
I think the thing is that when you can feel that there's a narrative coming together about you, and that we've collaborated with people on all of these projects, including the documentary and our book, and at times, or even maybe right now, we're in the middle of a collaboration, and maybe you have an idea of where you would like this interview to go, and what the story you would like, the way you view the story of Redd Kross, and I'm often skeptical of all these outside narratives where I'm like, yeah, I get it, and thank you, but is that necessarily the truth, or is that, I mean, is that how the cookie always crumbles?
So that's the difference between us, because me, I accept that it is the truth. I don't have to go
When
there.
people say wonderful things about you, okay.
It's very nice.
It's true.
Yeah, it's been true.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
I mean, it's nice. Of
course it's nice. But don't we, I mean, I think all of us, even when you're very accomplished, have things like, wait a minute, is this
Oh, yeah, that happens. But I think when you get older, like for instance, I speak for myself, you get to drop some of that stuff.
Okay.
That imposter syndrome that I think most artists have, who have any type of success, kind of grapple with. For me, it's just that's one of the advantages to being a bit older and having a lot of experience. If someone says they're really into you or they loved something, it's easy for me to accept it. When I was younger, it would have been like, oh, well, no, it wasn't that good or whatever. Try to talk them out of it.
So now you graciously accept the praise.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a nice stage.
I think the particular narrative that's hard for me is, and I think it keeps me hungry too. It keeps me like I'm still striving for something. And if the narrative is, that I was cheated from something for some reason, that there was an outside entity, a force that kept me, and I was just a victim, and that I wasn't awarded some kind of success because of other forces. I'm like, well, look, I'm still striving for something. Let me strive.
Yeah, Jeff, you said. So I went back and got your quotes on some of these things. You said, I've always felt if we made records that we believed in, which you alluded to, Steven, they'd always find an audience. Maybe not a big audience, but they will always find people. How's that worked out for you?
Very good. I mean, there are people who are discovering us still, and they always find the various albums from the various eras of our career, and the albums are so different that we seem to attract like a mixed nuts bag of new fans all the time. It's really cool. I knew that would happen because when I was first playing music, I started to discover a lot of records in like thrift stores and secondhand stores from groups like The Seeds and Love and all these like 60s bands. And I'm like, you discover them and they'd be so influential, and they're like, oh, well, if my records are very honest and we just keep doing what we do best, people will find our records in thrift stores and used record stores. And now most of them are in print, but and that seems to be the case. We never were chasing for we never felt we needed to be Bon Jovi, so we have a failed Bon Jovi sound-alike record or something like that.
You never did?
No, never.
Well, some people would say that our Atlantic record was some kind of attempt.
But I definitely wouldn't say that.
But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. I don't think we made any concessions to try to be Bon Jovi. I think that we were thrown into an environment and did our best with it.
Well, I've just used poor Bon Jovi. I just use them as a reference. But we always were just striving to be ourselves.
Yeah, and in that. So you weren't after the commercial success?
Well, we wanted commercial success. I mean, especially when we started doing records on major labels. Yeah. But there was no one way to do it, and we didn't, get outside songwriters or big pop producers. We just still wanted to be ourselves. But we wanted to get to the next level of success.
Did that cost you? Did that cost you in terms of what? In terms of what is? And I don't want to take you in a direction.
Yeah, that's good.
Did it cost you in terms of what is viewed as success in the business today?
Well, say our first.
You know what I'm saying?
Our first major label record. We were only with them it was with Atlantic Records, and we did one album with them, and it was over with before we were finished on that tour. So in order for us to kind of just keep going, we just kind of whatever. And it didn't devastate, but it does kind of throw you off a bit. Like if you're in the mindset, like, okay, we're going to do this, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and it doesn't, you have to kind of regroup and keep going, or a lot of bands we know would just disappear.
Yeah, it can be disheartening,
But we have each other in a sense where
So you could rely on each other in those times. And,
sure.
And remain authentic.
Well, also, we kind of insulate ourselves by just the strength in numbers in a weird sort of way. Like we've created our own kind of bubble. That's what a band is, you know? And if you can be united in, you know, a very general direction, then it's harder for people to penetrate that.
West Virginia has mountains of potential.
I grew up in the Kanawha Valley. It's a privilege to be a West Virginian. What we've got to continue to drive in this state is that concept of hope for the future, moving not just West Virginia forward, but moving the nation forward.
West Virginia is for hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Welcome back to State of Minds, presented by Hope Gas and by Greer Industries. In the documentary, you guys talk about watching TV shows and the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch and watching shows and listening to music that maybe at the time was viewed as maybe lowbrow camp or something. I mean, I watched all of it too. So and rock music is often part of the counterculture. And I was thinking about this. I'm gonna make an assessment, and you guys agree or disagree, that you guys are more inclusive than exclusive of the culture.
Yes.
Fair?
Yeah,
Fair
we use the culture, that we didn't reject it. Inclusive, yes.
Inclusive?
Do you mean pop culture?
Yes, yes. I mean pop culture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're very open.
That rock is about, counterculture.
Right.
Sure.
That you guys were more inclusive of the
Definitely,
culture.
more so than our peer group.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah. I think because we were, we came up in the 70s where television basically raised the children, raised us. I mean, our parents were around, but, and then when something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it, just that we would mix the two worlds.
And did punk, did you have issues with punk because of that?
Sure.
Sometimes, yeah. But it was always fun for us. It was like, for us, the term troll, we were kind of like punk rock trolls at the time.
Well, he can speak for himself. I'm not a troll.
No, it was fun to go out there and mix it up and kind of see what kind of response we would get by doing like a cover song from the TV show Bewitched at a hardcore punk show. And sometimes, most of the times it went over well, and occasionally it would be disastrous.
I mean, I don't think that punk. I don't know if Jeff was necessarily attracted, because Jeff's older than me, and so he definitely had a lot to do with, creating the culture of our brotherhood environment. And he was the one that brought home punk records first. And I don't really know that you necessarily were attracted to punk because of the counterculture message necessarily, as much as it was just this sort of aggressive art form that just appealed to us on a more abstract attitude sort of level.
It was so fresh, like the first generation punk rock is what, like the Ramones and all that. And,
but you were also listening to the Beach Boys.
Well, yeah, because those groups were they were more closely related to Beatles and Beach Boys, like Ramones, than any of the music that was happening in the 70s. 70s music was really bloated and with the exception of obviously, Led Zeppelin and other great groups, there was a lot of just like stuff I didn't relate to. So when punk rock came, it was like a return to like that kind of Beatles thing that I loved growing up, and Rolling Stones.
Steven, you two famously started the band. Jeff's 15, you're 11. That story's been done many, many, many times. You were immersing yourself in the punk scene at the time. I love the interviews with your parents in the documentary. For God's sake, what were your mom and dad thinking and saying at that time?
What would they think?
They seem like really adorable people in the documentary. They seem like really good people. Like, why is my 11-year-old son, out with my 15-year-old son? God knows what they're doing. Did that come up in the house?
As I get older, and I'm a parent now myself, I have a 16-year-old son, I am more and more, I've always been grateful that I landed with them, but we must have been totally alien to them. And because they were not bohemian style arty people. And the fact that we were so interested in this, like you're talking, like counterculture, subcultures. And I think it was really foreign and weird to them, but at the same time, they could just recognize that we were really motivated by it, that we had a sincere interest in something. And that's all they needed to know. And for the most part, I mean, they were cautious. They would take us to things, even though they wouldn't go into a show. They would sit in their car and wait for us.
In the earliest days.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes in sketchy neighborhoods.
That's a loving parent.
It is, very much
That's
so.
a loving parent.
Very much so.
To do that.
We're very lucky. We're very lucky that way. And I mean, all I can say, I just have so much gratitude that I...
And in the documentary where your mom says she's proud of you all, isn't that like the
that's
ultimate...
so sweet. Yeah, I've never felt I had to chase that from my parents. They've always told us, that they're proud of us, that they love us.
But as I get older, I see that not everybody has that. And once again, I'm very grateful.
Yeah, so when you parent your own kids, do you think about your parents then?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Steven, let me talk about the brother dynamic. I have a brother who's 4 years older, so I can relate. And we've been equals for many years, except that deep down, he's still my big brother.
Right.
And he's still the alpha if push comes to shove. What is your dynamic with your older brother?
Wow. You're a king mixer, aren't you? No, I'm kidding.
It's an obvious. I have an older brother. It's an obvious question.
I'm the one that has, I have these high thethees, like I already told you about tectonic plates.
But for me, as the alpha, I never think about it.
Because you don't have to.
It's his cross to bear, not mine.
No, it's funny. I think that things shift, and but it's true that if I ever wanted to get in touch with that 10-year-old kid inside of me, it's always waiting for me the second I'm in close proximity to him. And not to say that he, dismisses me in a way that makes me regress or anything. It's just that it's, like you said, there's a dynamic that just is permanent, perhaps. And, but once again, as I get older, I have gratitude for that. Because it's a very authentic part of who I am, and it doesn't, it doesn't mean better or worse or anything. It's just it's our dynamic. And as I get older, like I was trying to talk about, I was alluding to with the Josh Klinghoffer thing and him making our last record with us. These things, another person enters the room and everything changes. Are the important things, the things that create that creativity, feeds off of, and I'm just sensitive to it, and I like to find these things where I can and see and make them work in a positive way.
Are you still the big brother?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
In what way?
It's just a natural way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone has their roles to an extent that are just baked in.
But some are subject to change.
There's
Some are subject to change, and that's ever evolving.
Yeah, but as far as it goes, yeah, I was here first.
See, he doesn't have to think about it.
I don't have to think about it. That's not mine.
All right, we won't do. I'll leave that for the therapy sessions.
Okay.
I want to do
That was very revealing.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic. Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
Patients who have allergies and sinusitis, they have worse quality of life on many levels. At the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center, we provide all the most recent technology in office procedures to help patients who cannot breathe through their nose. Patients come in, within half an hour they can leave. Whatever problem with the sinus and allergy you're having, we can help you get the right treatment.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Welcome back to State of Minds, presented by Hope Gas and by Greer Industries. Back to the tour. Who's in the crowds? People my age and 60s, 50s, or new people who are discovering you? Who's in the crowds?
All ages. And sometimes people bring their kids, which is always fun. It's I don't know where these people come from, but they show up.
I met an 11-year-old bass player the other day, and it was awesome. She has a band called Paranormal, or the Paranormals, Paranormal. But anyways, she really wanted to give me her sticker and everything. And my brother-in-law is the new drummer for Oasis, which is a very big deal. Joey Warker.
Yeah.
But her
Oasis back out on tour.
But her main objective was for me to give a Paranormal sticker with her phone number on the back, with the hopes that he would then give it to Liam Gallagher.
But she wanted him to discover her music.
She did, and they were cool, and they had like a mod. They used that mod target symbol.
So we get that a lot, like kids, young kids who are like parents who have kids who are musicians, are like starting bands when they're 12. They bring them to our show.
Yeah, because also a lot of kids learn early Red Cross songs.
Yeah,
like
there's like
School of Rock.
But when we were children in the olden days, like for us, it was like there would be like one person in town who had, a fabled electric guitar, and we'd have to go search them out. Now it's like kids they like to make their TikTok videos playing Led Zeppelin covers and stuff.
Look, kid.
Stephen, you said this is Redd Kross's third act. You called it a third act.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I got that from a Jane Fonda book.
So it's not okay. All right, let's just say you're the big change guy. So you're evolving. This is another act by Redd Kross.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Well, I say that. I know it's funny to say, but it's true that when we were making the last album, or when I was writing a lot for the last record, I like audiobooks. I know maybe that's lowbrow. I don't know. But while hiking, I was listening to Jane Fonda's autobiography that she wrote in her early 60s. So it's like 20 years old now. And I think it was the foreword. She was talking about this is the beginning of her third act, and she wants it to be a really good one. And at the time she had, I mean, and you could argue about the quality of her work, I don't know, but she had like 3 movies out, and we live in Hollywood, so you see billboards everywhere, and she was finishing a successful run with a long-standing TV show. And I was like, wow, she made good on her word. Like the 20 years later, she had a really good run that I would imagine she was proud of. And so, you know, and then when you think about rock and roll, people are always, they were asking Mick Jagger in 1971 if he would still be singing Satisfaction at 39. And, you know, it's one of these things where it's like you don't really, you think you are immune to things like ageism and that you're, you know, you think outside the box, but it's like, it's kind of baked in. And then you always wonder whether or not, am I allowed to still be doing this, you know? And what does that look like? And it's like, okay, I see that Mick Jagger, but he's filling stadiums. So what happens if you're just filling clubs? Do you still get to do this? And
well, I think the answer is obvious.
It is obvious
that you do. It's obvious to you. You do because you are.
Right.
Right.
It's an identity thing. It's like you're a lifer.
But when you get older, it's really fun because again, it's kind of like throwing it in people's face. I'm still here doing this, and you know, I'm not going to succumb to like, you know, what's appropriate for a man my age to be doing.
But more than just I'm still here doing this because
it's got to be good.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it if it would be.
It's got to be good.
Yeah. So I'll inject myself here. Is my cousin turned on my wife to your music, my wife turned on me to your music, and I'm late to your all's music. But in researching for this, I think you all are having a moment. Okay? I think with the tour, with the double album, with more people saying talking about the influence of Redd Kross with the documentary, I think you're having a moment. Fair?
Thank you.
I think that's what it feels like to me. Maybe because I'm late to the show.
Well, that's nice of you to say. And then, you know, but I always think like, is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah. We have several episodes. But the moment, and it's hard because I think a lot of people have a hard time staying at the present. So you're always thinking about the future. So you miss those moments. I've really tried to stay in the now and to enjoy these things while they're happening and not be, you know, 2 steps ahead.
Well, because I am the one that would be planning what the next thing is. Which I do think that way.
What's the next thing then? If you're planning
another record.
But we're going to Australia.
Are you?
So we're going to Australia in the beginning of next year, and I would like to record a new record by the end of next year, and then so it'll only be a 3-year gap between records, which would be unique for us, especially in the last 2 decades.
We're like Fleetwood Mac.
Well, you just took some time off.
But I would hope that, like, if this is true, this moment you're speaking of, the most I would hope to gain from that would just be, more consistency as we move forward.
I'm going to wrap up with this. I'd like you both to speak to it. So I'm listening to the new double album, and there's a song, Too Good to Be True, on that. You talk about getting through the tough times and finding a sweet spot in life.
Right.
That sounds very mature.
Well, that's the goal. I mean,
it sounds very almost mission statement-like.
Right. Well, I mean, those things, we all want that, but I mean, it may be, you know, a fantasy.
Who came up with those words?
That song was very collaborative.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember.
I started the riff, but the lyrics were written together, but Jeff had the pen in his hand, and so he would get quiet for moments and stuff and write some stuff down. I'm trying to remember the lyrics right now as we're talking. I remember there was the siren call. It was like beware. There was some warnings.
Yes.
There was some warnings. So that's the skeptic. But what was? I'm sorry, I kind of forgot.
What was it? It was just that it felt like that too good to be true. That there's other stuff that happened in your life, but now you kind of gotten to a point and it feels a little more settled, a little...
Right.
You've gone through a lot of things, you're still here, you're still doing what you love, you're doing new things. So
but is that too good to be
well,
true?
you know, it also, I think, appreciating everything that's happening and everything that's great, but too good to be true is kind of the natural, to always waiting for the next shoe to drop. You know, there's that's always kind of in the back, no matter how great things are going. So, you know, it's always a little bit of that. So no matter how great things are, there's always a little bit of like.
Well, it's back to the change. So like,
you never get a break.
It's
entirely.
another reason to enjoy the moment. Like Jeff was talking about how
Yeah.
much he likes to try to stay in the moment because it's going to change too.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been in the moment with the interview.
Oh, wow.
We appreciate it very much. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Jeff and Steven McDonald, thank you so much. Enjoy your visit to West Virginia.
Oh, thank you. We're loving it.
And thanks for having us.